The other extreme in market structure is something we call monopoly. Monopoly simply means that there's one firm in a market, and as a result, they have all of the power in a market. Monopolists are price setters instead of price takers. Monopolies have significant barriers to entry which prevent profits from being competed away. So a monopolist can have profit forever. Monopolies are typically associated with higher prices and lower outputs than the competitive outcome. And as a result, monopolies are usually looked upon with a fair amount of disfavor. People tend to not like monopolies. In fact, economists and government officials have a tendency of putting a lot of pressure on firms that are acting in a monopolistic fashion. But we want to keep in mind it's not illegal to be a monopoly. It's just illegal to act like a monopoly and try to drive your competition out of business with unfair practices. Again, it's not illegal to try to drive your competition out of business. Businesses try to do this all the time. But to do it in an unfair manner is what people generally find to be distasteful about monopolies. When we look at a monopoly, monopolists make the same decision as a competitive firm. They want to maximize profits. In this case, however, monopolies have the ability to do that for a prolonged period of time. There is only one graph for the monopoly. Since the monopolist is, in effect, the market, we combine the two graphs, so we have a single graph indicating what the monopolistic firm would do. And since they are the market, this is also the market graph. We have a downward sloping demand curve and a downward sloping marginal revenue curve. For the monopolist, if they want to increase the amounts that they sell, they have to lower price. Monopolists are subject to the law of demand just like any other firm. In competition, that demand curve faced by the firm was horizontal, so the firm could increase their sales, but they would continue to sell everything at the same price because they're not big enough to affect the market price. But the monopolist is the market, and since they can set the price, if they want to increase price, they're going to lose sales. If they decrease price, they're going to increase sales. From here, the monopolist wants to find where their marginal cost equals their marginal revenue. But be careful, this doesn't tell us the price the monopolist will charge. The price is found on the curve that has price information as a part of it, which is the demand curve. So if you start where the marginal revenue and marginal cost curves cross and drop down to the quantity axis, that will tell you the monopolist's profit maximizing quantity. But then you need to go up to the demand curve and over to the price axis to find the price the monopolist wants to charge to maximize their profits. Now, whether or not the firm is making a profit in this case will depend upon the location of the average total cost. If the average total cost is below price at the profit maximizing output, then the monopolist will have a profit, just like is shown here in the profit box. But if that average total cost curve were above the price, then the monopolist could indeed earn losses, and monopolists have earned losses in the past. Oftentimes public utilities will incur losses because they're not allowed to raise their price to cover their cost by regulation.